Isn't that the common question people tend to ask you? How's the weather? And you'll say, oh, it was great, no problem. Or you'll go, it was terrible. The traffic was heavy. There was an accident on the road. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how late I am. The excuses that come out of us with that simple question, how's the weather? I'm in the winter season and I live in the northeast of the US. And the weather has been like living in a snow globe. Every day you wake up and it's snowing. The clouds are gray. And when it stops snowing, the clouds are still gray. And you got 2 to 3 more inches out there that you either are shoveling or you're walking through, like I do, because I have dogs. I have to make paths. And if I don't lead them up into the woods, they'll be doing their business down close to house, and then I got to pick it up anyways. So how's the weather? The weather's fine. It's winter. I expect in winter to have snow. I expect it to be cold sometimes, and I expect it to be cold but feeling warm at other times. That wind can blow a chill that just goes right through you, that even my dogs can't wait to get in the house, get next to the fire, and go, okay, that's over and done with. How's the weather? We get into a habit of how we talk about the weather. Sometimes I have to travel, and if it's snowing and the visibility is low, the weather's still fine because I'm going slower. I can't see very far in front of me, so I have to be so present, not uptight and driving like I'm going to go off the road, but I have to be present and mindful for what the weather brings me. It's the same as fog. I remember being in California and we were going through the redwood trees and along the ocean, and the fog just kind of rolled in as we were driving. And we were so sucked in by this fog. It's like I'm on unfamiliar territory and I can't quite see the road very clearly. So you go slow. You just keep moving forward. Now, the problem with that question of how's the weather is not really how the weather is around you in your environment, because you can change your environment. People get on a plane and they go someplace warm, or they pack up everything and they move somewhere else. I saw my mom, who's 95 today. I didn't talk about the weather to her, but she did. I said, well, maybe we can go on Monday to the store that you want to go to. And she went, oh, no, we are going to be in minus zero temperatures. It's going to be really cold out there. I don't go out when it's really cold out there. I said, oh, all right, well, we'll just wait until it's warmer. She said, don't get me wrong, honey. It's winter and I know it's going to be cold. But if the windshield's up and it's blowing me, and she said that with touching her hair, it's like, I don't want a hair out of place, right? Is that part of human nature? We don't want a hair out of place. We want to be in that groove and that on that road, and we want to be moving forward. But even when I walk the trails out back with my dogs, I don't walk the same trail all the time. Because what happens with snow under your feet is it compacts. It is making that path that you're walking on really solid. Yet what happens when it melts or you go off to the side a little, your foot slips off. So I'm very mindful to make sure that where I walk is wider than where it's compacted down. And in fact, I'm very mindful to make a new path in the snow. I just put on my taller boots, tuck in my pants, wear my gloves, my sweater. I know, don't wear a hat, but just go with it. You never know where that new path is going to be. And that's a lot of what I teach people in Ignite Your Uniqueness, my 90-day program. I work with women, women who are ready to start something new, whether they're looking for their true purpose or whether they know what they want to do. They're coaches, healers, entrepreneurs, but they haven't quite fully embraced that new self-image, that new path, because the vision that they have, the intention that they have, may be stuck in some of those old way of thinking. And how do you take the old, disperse it, and walk a new path? Now, on the recording of this, it's like January 15th. And many of you may already have made your New Year's resolutions, set your goals for the year, whatever you do, I am going to. And you might be feeling like, wow, I'm 2 weeks into this and I fell off the wagon. At the business meeting I went to this morning, I was sitting at a high top. We broke out into groups and there were 4 of us, and one said to the other, well, it's dry January. He goes, what do you mean dry January? Oh, it's the month every year that you don't drink. It's dry January. You drank all through the holidays, so now don't have a drink. And he leans back and looks and he goes, so how's that working for you? Well, she said, not so good. So maybe if it's a semi-wet January for you. And the truth is, it doesn't matter whether it's January, February, March, or April, May, whatever time of year it is. It may not be totally dry, totally one way, not the other. We live in a world of polarity, right? It's not right and it's not wrong. But there is a common ground, a middle ground when we are changing our lives, when we are creating something new. And what we do is to weave in what it is that we want to create that middle ground. Now, if you set a resolution, did you look up what the word means? Break it down. It's almost like I resolve to take something on. Every time you make a commitment to yourself, even when you went, well, I'm going to set these goals, especially for my business. I've got 5 goals that I'm going to do this year. Okay, here's these 5 lofty goals. Here's a resolution. And where's the steps to get to either or? You got to come from where you are and kind of move up with a plan to reach those goals. In Ignite Your Uniqueness, we look at the power of intention and a value statement. And it's learning how to really be true to you. Because every time you say, oh my gosh, I didn't complete this, I didn't do this, your body is hearing what you're saying. You're voicing out to the world, I didn't do this. I can't, I should, I tried. Doesn't work. And you kind of, exactly, throw up your hands because it doesn't work. Oh well, there's always next year. I'll go back to lounging on my chair and just, getting by. When there's a part of you that really wants something more, when you really want to lean in and embrace all of you. And that's about getting clear on what it is you're doing right now. What are those patterns, those habits, those beliefs that you automatically carry on day after day? And once you become clear on those, there's the awareness. So you've got the awareness that you're creating these patterns. And now, when you have that awareness, you're in a special place of a new perspective. In between there is where you go from the old to something new, something positive. But not just something positive, you're letting everything else really fall away. Did you really let go of the old from last year and step into this year? I'm still hearing people say, well, I had a banner year last year and I'm hoping for something different here. Hope? You hope that it's going to have something different? What's that person saying? That they're wanting something different is out there. It's in the future instead of it's already here. We always have the choice, right? We have the choice to really invest in ourselves and make a difference first in our world, right? I mean, we're not going to change anything outside of us. We might step into the drama of the workplace, the family situations, and what's going on in society. And when we do, it's like, oh my gosh. I was at a book club reading last night, and the people who were talking about this book, which is a horrendous book and an eye opener to understand what might really be going on behind closed doors in the government, had this feeling of like such heaviness to it. They're all talking about the book and what it's created in the world, but they didn't talk about what they were creating in the world to make that change. What we go after in our goals, our intentions, our resolutions isn't necessarily to get out there with magical thinking and go, yep, change the world. There it is. Oh, something else. I'm going to change the world over here. It is living in your own body. It is living in your own core beliefs and your core values. Because it's only from this space, this moment, this time, that you have a choice. You have the choice to move forward, to change something within you. And whether you believe it yet or not, when you change inside, it is that ripple effect. I always like the image of a stone being thrown into a pond because the big ripple goes out and out and out. And if somebody else has put another rock over here or another rock over here or thrown over there, and your rock is going, the ripples on the water are going out to others, then you've made a change in those ripples around you. They change form, they change shape. We plant the seeds to what's going to grow every spring. Unless you've got garlic in your garden, and you do that in the fall here. You plant that and you wait and see what's going to come up. And you let Mother Nature take its course. I'm not going to change the garlic that I planted. It's already in the ground. It knows how to do its thing. You have to trust that people are the same way. That deep down, right, wrong, good, bad, they all have a choice and they're all listening to what's going on. And to make that change from your inside out is that ripple effect to others. But I'll tell you, we don't do this change alone. If you think back to all the influences you have had in this world, you might think, oh my God, I had the worst coach. I'm never getting a coach again. Not in business. I can't do this. Well, that could be true because you keep repeating that and you were a victim to that coaching experience. Instead of going, whoa, you won't believe this. I had the best coach ever. They really got down to the nitty gritty of everything. And I was able to make those small little changes, which went every day made a bigger difference. It is the momentum that gets behind what you're doing and what you're creating. Not that you had necessarily a bad coach, been there, done that, but I also know that I could step back and go, is that what I really believe? No. But I've heard it so often that maybe I took on some of that belief. And maybe it's time to change that belief, that thought, and take an action in another way. So when it's snowing out there and it's all a blanket of white and the snow has stopped, don't just go down the same old path that you went down. Try a new path. Make a snow angel or an impression in the snow. It may just give you the joy, the inspiration, the feeling that you need to ignite within you that passion, that desire, that inner knowing that'll help guide you through the ups and downs of this coming year. Now, I also do energy assessments. That's part of my program. I read the energy, I give you some suggestions, I'm listening to your words, and I'm watching your body. And sometimes you need some help just to release some of that emotion and thought once it's been stored there. Well, this concludes a live portion. It's the first time I've ever done it on YouTube live, and I'll send it out other places. But that was a great step. It was something that I took a little bite of and moved forward on. So thank you for sticking with it and for listening. And I hope you have a fabulous day. I hope you take some little nugget away from this um, and chew on it a little bit and decide how is it you want to move forward. Have a great day.